yesterday a very interesting and very terrible situation took place in the city of Odessa. And in this video we can see how during the daylight, somewhere at 10 a.m. at 10:30 a.m. of Ukrainian time, one man killed another man on the street. So in this video we can see how the assassin killed another Ukrainian person somewhere on the street of the central part of Odessa. And of course, this video shocked the Ukrainians, this video shocked the Russians as well, and of course everybody was trying to understand what exactly did happen there. And of course the Russians, first of all, they managed to find very interesting detail and very interesting update, because during that assassination attempt this person, Demyan Ganula, was killed. And the Russians managed to find out that this person, Demyan Ganula, was responsible for the massacre that took place in Odessa in 2014. If you remember, in 2014, 42 civilians were blocked in the building, and then that building was burned and 42 people died. And this person was in the group of those people who was responsible for that massacre. And of course, as soon as the Russians managed to discover this detail, they called the assassin as a hero of the Russian Federation. This is exactly the picture of that assassin that killed that Demyan Gayon. But later, and that's it. So the Russians were saying that this person is the hero of the Russian Federation because he assassinated a person who was responsible for the massacre that took place in Odessa. And of course, the Ukrainians are saying completely different story. They are saying that a hero, a patriot of Ukraine, activist, volunteer, was killed by somebody. So of course, two sides show us completely different picture. And of course, it's very interesting and very important to understand what exactly happened. So now I will tell you and I will provide you the truth, the exact situation that took place there, and then you will be able to understand who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. First of all, let's start with the with assassin. According to information we have, he is a former soldier. He's a former soldier, and the sources are saying that he has 30 wounds. Imagine yourself, he has 30 wounds that he got since the beginning of the special military operation fighting with the Russians. So obviously the statement that he is the hero of Russia is not something correct. Obviously a person who got 13 wounds in fight in battles with the Russians can't be a hero of the Russian Federation. So obviously this means that when he assassinated this person, he doesn't have like the task to assassinate him because the Russians asked him to do this or the Russians paid him to do this. Obviously this is not. So let's discuss now this person, Demyan Ganula. Who is he and what was he responsible for? According to information we have, Demyan Ganula, this person, didn't serve in Ukrainian army. But as you can see on his shoulders, on his hands, we can say that he would fit perfectly the soldier of the armed forces of Ukraine. But for some reason, nobody mobilized him. And the thing is that he had the gang. He had the gang in Odessa, and that gang helped the recruiters of Odessa to capture young people and to send them to the line of combat contact. And this is the reason why he wasn't mobilized, because he made a lot of services to the Ukraine military authorities by capturing people, by helping recruiters to mobilize people on the streets. So all those videos when recruiters were capturing people were made by the persons like him. So, what is the connection between this person and the person that assassinated him? In 2022 or in 2023, I can't tell you for sure. There was a very interesting case in Odessa. 3 recruitmen entered a gym. It was a gym, and they planned to mobilize and to capture young men from gym. Obviously, this is the perfect place where you can capture as many as possible people who can be sent later to the line of combat contact. But those 3 recruiters were stopped by administrator of the gym. An administrator of the gym, using very, very rude words, asked them to go from gym as far as possible. And then those recruiters went to this man, to this Demyan Ganula, and asked him for help. They asked this person to help them, first of all, to punish that gym administrator and to help them to mobilize him. And then this Demyan Ganula, this person, volunteer and activist of Ukraine, went to that gym with his people, and they basically tortured that administrator, and they captured him and they sent him to the recruit center. Later we found out that 3 months later, since that episode, that young administrator of the gym was killed on the line of combat contact. And so, what is the connection between this person who assassinated this guy and this gym administrator and so on? And according to information we have, this assassin was the father of that gym administrator, because this person, this father, this former officer, former soldier, have been fighting with the Russians since the beginning of the special military operation, and he indeed was a real hero for Ukraine because he was fighting for his family, and probably it was something like a deal. He went to the line of combat contact, but his son should stay at home. But we see that everything went completely different way, and when this guy, when this person, when father of that gym administrator had a chance, he returned back to Ukraine. He found this Demyan Ganula, and then this situation that you can see in front of your screen happened. So as you can see, both the Russians and the Ukrainians are not saying us the exact situation that took place, because obviously when talking about the Ukrainian side, they can't tell this because basically one patriot, one hero of Ukraine, basically assassinated another person who maybe is a hero, but not for those Ukrainians who are along the line of combat contact. So the situation is very difficult, and I believe that you will never be able to see these details somewhere in Ukrainian media or in the Russian media as well.